Woo! Welcome everybody to the SWP Ladies Live, and thank you so much for joining us. I have the beautiful ladies of SWP here. Joining us is the wonderful and awesome April. She's part of our core team and also the administrator in SWP. We have the beautiful and most influential Deb and content creator. And we have Flavia, but Flavia was here a moment ago, but I think she just dropped off. So just want to welcome everybody and say we're going to have an amazing evening. And again, our topic today is, how does sisterhood strengthen crypto? So Deb, how are you doing? Give us a hi, and maybe you can do a little icebreaker for us.
Ooh, for sure, for sure. Hi guys, it's Deb. Glad to be here with everyone. Have been pretty excited for this live stream, especially a women's live stream, because I feel like it brings different vibes. Here's Daffy. He's not a woman, but he kind of has a girly name, so he he wanted to be involved. But I figured we would start with some kind of icebreaker so you guys can get to know us a little better. Because we want this to be fun, not just like kind of serious. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Two Truths and a Lie. It used to be a game we used to play in like high school or college and stuff. So each of us are going to tell you two truths and a lie, and you guys are going to go in the comments and you guys are going to have to guess what the actual lie is. So I guess who to start with? Let's go in order. So let's start with April. April, can you give us two truths and one lie, and then we'll try to figure out which one is which.
All right. So I have here the two truths and a lie. So feel free to drop it in the chat, which is what do you think is the lie in there? So first, I held so long it went to zero. Second, I bought a coin just because it had a wolf in the logo. Third is I've never checked charts during dinner. All right, what do you think is the lie? Drop it in the chat, guys. And let's see who got the correct answer. What do you think? What do you think, girls? What do you think, guys?
I think it's number. I think it's number 3. I think.
I've never checked charts during dinner. Yeah, for sure. I think everyone is checking the charts during dinner, right? So that's definitely the lie of never checking.
That's the dedication we have in the crypto space. Crypto never sleeps. All right, let's go to Shayna. Two truths and a lie.
Okay, so I've never been ragged before. I've worked on other projects before SWP, and I own less than 1% of the supply in SWP as a core team member. Anybody can guess that? Drop a comment, guys. Drop a comment.
Sheree, you cannot drop a comment because I'm sure you know the answer.
Okay, maybe not. Yes.
I think it's the I've never worked on other projects. Or no, that's the truth. So
Oh wait, sorry. It was I have worked on other projects.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm confused. Yeah, I think this is your first project.
Okay. Well done, Deb. Ding, ding, ding. That point goes to you.
All right. Flavia, can you hear us?
Great job, Flavia.
I can hear you. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you. Flavia, can you give us your two truths and a lie, and we're going to try to guess which one's which.
Okay. I lost thousands of dollars with the cryptocurrency that my president Lay talked about a few time ago. I have a vision board with everything that I want to achieve. And number 3 is I'm a newbie in the crypto world.
Flavia, I think your internet is still kind of like in and out because like it was like very glitchy. So I don't know if you want to come back, like leave and come back and see if that kind of fixes the issue. While we wait for sure. While we wait for Flavia, I'll do mine. So if you guys want to answer in the chat what you think my lie is. So number one, I have been in crypto since 2021. Number two is my first crypto that I ever bought was Ethereum. And number three is I've never gotten a Hedron X. We'll give you guys a few minutes to answer in the comments. April and Shayna, what do you guys think the lie is?
That, that's a bit of a tough one. April, April, what do you think? April, your mic is muted.
I think second one. Am I correct?
You are correct. My first crypto was Dogecoin because it had so many zeros. I was like, I can buy a lot of these.
Nice. See, I got the correct one. Perfect. Hopefully Flavia's in here. All right. So I think hey Bullish, hey Earlswood, hey Greenhawk. How's everyone doing? Nice.
Awesome. Well, while we wait for Flavia, do we want to go to our next section? April, you are muted.
Yeah, I think so. We should go to the next one because Flavia's internet is not good right now. All right. Well, that's the thing. Technical difficulties. We can avoid that one.
The joys of World Wide Web, internet everywhere. Oh, she's back. Okay, guys. Anyway, let's move. We want to make it interesting for everybody, right? So also around our topic, we want to talk about, how does sisterhood strengthen the crypto world? Essentially, how does women, strengthen the crypto world? So we're going to play another little, type of a game, and we're going to call it Purge the Fun, right? So ladies, I want you all to give me the worst ideas of women being in crypto, right? So, what's kind of the downside of having women in crypto? It's generally a very male-dominated space, and women are slowly to start getting into crypto a little bit more. And yeah, so who would like to go first and speak about the worst idea of having women in crypto? I'll go with Deb.
Ooh, okay. I think one of the worst ideas, which I see a lot, is like I feel like a lot of female like influencers only get attention because they're pretty, but then you ask them like, hey, like what's market cap? Like, hey, like, what cryptos are you invested in? They literally can't see anything. And then like the DMs are just like full of like thirsty men. And like the funny part is like 95% of the women in crypto are actually men like catfishing like other men in this space. That's something I've seen for quite a while now.
I never thought of that. Hey, being a woman, yeah, men catfishing other men pretending to be a woman. That's so true. April, what are your thoughts?
Well, yeah, definitely. So and for me, my worst idea, like a stereotype for worst idea about women in crypto is that they say women are too emotional to invest. Well, that's the most common thing, right? Especially in crypto world. But have you seen how calm we are during red candles? I mean, last day the market is red. So personally, red is my favorite color, but in crypto, oh no. Well, during red candles, we are so calm, right? But everyone else is crying on Twitter. So women handle pressure differently, and we stay grounded, we don't panic, and we think long term, right? And in SWP, we turn tough moments to into smart moves, so emotions don't hold us back, which is they give us strength, right? What's your thought about these ladies?
So I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm also gonna disagree with you, April, because like being a woman, right? Can see the hair is red, right? So I love red too. But when it's red, like literally for us, when the markets are bleeding and so are we, it's like literally get out of our way because then I'm in like a really crappy mood. Like, oh my gosh, the market is down. And yeah, women are generally very emotional uh, creatures. And I think, it's kind of in our nature to care rather than not to care. And that's why I think we do care. However, here in SWP, the chart doesn't move us, right? Like, even if the chart is down, we still keep going, we still keep grinding, we still keep showing up. And that's what it's all about because women know how to work hard. Women are hard workers, generally, overall. Like, no diss to any guys or anything like that, but like women have to generally, take care of the home, take care of the kids. Sometimes, most of the time, work nowadays, and like, yeah, I mean, I'm talking from myself, being a mom. Not that my husband doesn't help, but being a mom and a working mom, and then also in crypto, it's yeah, it can get a bit tough, but at the same time, it can also be rewarding. And being part of SWP is definitely rewarding. Flavia, what would you think would be another like, downside of a woman being in crypto? We purging the fun. Unmute your mic. Flavia, your mic. Can you hear us?
There's some
Okay, now.
like I no, yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Oh,
Can you
we
hear
still
me?
have. Yeah, now we can.
Okay. When SWP moons, the malls better brace themselves. I will shopping like a queen. I'm kidding. That is something that many persons thinks about girls. I know what I'm going to do with the first time that goes for $1, for example. But yes, but I would like to buy my first Hermes.
Nice.
What you mean? It's like when women have money, it's like hide all the cards, right? Because if we're taking that money out, we are hitting the malls and we're not going to stop. Like the hair, the clothes, the shoes, the makeup. Mike, I think Flavia's Mike. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I think about having women in crypto, when we finally get that 100x you were talking about, Dev, earlier, when we finally get that 100x, then there's going to be no stopping us. It's literally. It's going to be gifts for everyone, too. I'll buy my mother a pair of shoes. If
Yeah,
everybody.
matching shoes in like every color.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna buy
right.
everything you don't have as well.
Yeah. So let's move on to like, about having women in crypto, right? So we hashed out the worst ideas of kind of having women in crypto. We purged the FUD around having women in crypto. Now let's talk about actually women being here and the value that we add to the space and the good that is surrounding that and what strengthens the crypto world by having us here. So who wants to go first? Oh, please all don't jump at one time.
I can go. I think like I think a big thing for me has kind of been like a zero tolerance for nonsense where in terms like sure like when I first got into the space I was very naive, like I didn't really even know how to do my research. But like now that I've learned kind of like the space as best as I can right now, like I don't fall for things, right? So like I'm able to call things out when I see them. Like there have been projects in the past where I've like been working with them, and like there are things I don't like seeing that I like discontinue working with them. So I think a big thing is like being able to set those boundaries and being able to recognize things for what they are. Because I think like everyone can get kind of like, sure, women are emotional, whatever, but everyone gets emotionally invested in their projects and like things that they have their money in, because obviously they want to see them doing well. But I think it's important to recognize that like we can have the ability to be able to spot red flags and then, you know, keep our distance, which is something that I think is like very, very important in such a toxic and like scammy space.
Totally agree with you. And you know, like you said, you're able to sniff out the BS technically, and that's another thing about women, right? We have such attention to detail because we have an eye for the finer things in life. Most, like I think all women do. We know the good stuff, right? And so when it comes to, I'm just me like working on SWP and doing this project, like April and I literally leave, and like alongside with Tom, like we don't leave any stone unturned. Like everything is down, everything is organized, everything is in black and white, and that's the beauty part about women, is that they are such organizers, and we have such an eye for detail, and that we know how to get things done. If we want to get something done, we're gonna make sure we get it done one way or another. And if there's a problem, we will find a solution to that problem. So that's another thing I think that's amazing about having women in crypto. Whereas like, you know, whereas generally guys are like, oh, okay, let's just, you know, when starting off a project or anything, oh, let's, yeah, okay, whatever. There you go. You know, there's this, there's money, there's this. Whereas women, it's like everything is calculated, right? Because that's how it has to be. So I'm just saying from my perspective, like everything is genuinely attention to detail and not also looking over, you know, the small things that could mean something later on. April, what are your thoughts about, you know,
Yeah,
having this crypto and the
yeah,
bond?
of course. Yeah, attention to detail. Girls, women naturally pay attention to the little things that matter, especially in crypto. Yeah, just as what you've said earlier, when we do meetings and stuff, we want everything gets done because in crypto, those small details, they're everything. And that attention to detail connects with something else we're good at. So for us to grow, we don't just want to win, we want everyone around us to grow too, right? Which is to naturally pay attention the little things that matter. And for us to grow as women, we bring empathy, right? So warmth, um though we care deeply and uplift to others. So, in a space like this, where things move fast and emotions can run high, so that nurturing side of us women becomes a real superpower. And we check on people, right? We celebrate small wins. We notice when someone's quiet and ask if they're okay. So that kind of energy builds trust, and trust builds strong communities. So in here in SWP, this shows us how we support new members. So we welcome them, we share knowledge, and we keep the vibe safe. So it's not just about charts and tokens, it's about making sure no one's left behind. So that's the kind of leadership women bring. And it's what keeps us our project human while it grows. So yeah, definitely women are nurturing nature. So
Yes. Also, I would like to add some thoughts. Nowadays, as almost all of us are independent, we have the
mm,
plasticity for to be objective and called in the moment to invest more money in what we believe. And also, we can also be very sensitive
very nurturing with our husbands, boyfriends, kids, and all of that. That is a very important part that we has, because the people usually always see the part of to be objective or work with numbers or invest like something very masculine, and the truth it is that is not true anymore. We are living a different way. We are modern women that we have the power to be both, to be a very sensitive person with our families and be someone totally different in our works, in the crypto. And I think this thing of crypto is very empowered for us, because it's like we can invest, we can study about what is working better, what crypto has a better project, and all we do here. And also in SWP, we have a very nice community because we support each other. It's not only about make money, it's about community. It's about if we see someone is not online as usually, always someone ask you, hey, how are you, is everything okay, do you want to talk? Because we are all around the world. It's maybe I cannot tell you, let's go for a coffee. No, but do you want to talk? Maybe we can do a quick call, and that is nice.
100%. I'll kind of just add to that. Like, I know, like, I've built like very close relationships with like Shayna and like Sheree, for instance, as well as like Bullish, who's in the audience. Like, those are people who I've met in this space who, like, I know if I'm having a hard day and it has nothing to do with crypto, like, I can reach out to those people. And I feel like that's so needed in this space, because I say this a lot, but like, there was a reason why, I had to step back from the space like a while back. It was because it got so overwhelming and there was so much toxicity and there was so much just negativity. And it's like re-entering the space, like I have had to be very mindful with, who I create a circle with, because like we very much so like pick up the energy of the people we're around. So like I feel like women bring something different where it's like I can feel safe in the space when I surround myself with the right people. And then like one thing I wanted to add, and then I'll stop talking, is like a big thing for me is kind of like education in this space, right? Like, I mean, based off my two truths and a lie, like I got into this space in 2021. And at that point in time, like I knew maybe like two other like YouTubers who were women in crypto, who were making content. And it was just such a male dominant space at that time that I felt like very kind of sexualized, and very much like I kind of had to somewhat like follow my own path and try to figure out what I needed to do and what I needed to learn by myself. And I feel like as the years have gone by, there are more and more women joining crypto. There are more women leaders like in crypto projects, like we see with Shanna and April. And I think that that's so important. And that's like one of the reasons why, SWP, where, I'm teaming up with them to make content to promote like educational content. It's not just like, oh, like buy SWP, we're going to 1000x tomorrow. It's like, no, let us inform you how to create a safer experience in crypto so that you guys can learn from my experiences, because I got scammed a lot. I made a lot of mistakes. And if I can, work with SWP to help other people to learn from those mistakes, like that makes it all worth it to me. So I think education and like educating other women and allowing them to feel safe coming into the crypto space is also a very big, like important message that I wanted to kind of like elaborate on.
That was so well said, Deb. You know, being in SWP and it being like my first kind of project that I've really been. Like I said in my two truths and a lie, the truth was that I've never been drugged before, and that I found a safe haven here in SWP, and I have the opportunity to actually get involved and make a difference. Like we said also, that women are generally very committed, creatures in general, and so that we bring that to the crypto game. I mean, even myself, I'm so new in crypto, But when I started making content, like I'm not an influencer or anything, minimal views, but just trying to educate other people in the space about crypto, about market cap, and things that are important. And that's what I love about SWP. Even touching on what Flavia said, making these connections with people around the world has really been tremendous. You would never make these type of friends anywhere else. And as much as building a community like SWP is a long road, it's not always easy, but it is definitely one that's rewarding. Like to be able to meet. I would have never met you, Deb, and I think Tom said this the other day in one of his spaces. I wouldn't have met April. I wouldn't have met Flavia, and so many of our wonderful community members that are joining us here online. So this space has also given us the opportunity to learn about other people from different parts around the world. It's not just. I think we've kind of made it not just only about crypto, but also about connecting with other people, finding friends that in like a non-judgmental space, because you guys don't know me from a bar of soap, right? Basically. And so sometimes it kind of, like you said, creates that safe space where I can tell you, because I don't feel like I'm judged. I'm not going to, walk down the street tomorrow or bump into you at a coffee bar, or, whatever or, or like a bar. So the thing is that it's amazing to be able to connect with different women in the space. Also, watching the way April does things in SWP, like she's just a firecracker. I won't lie to you. Like anything that needs to get done, we're like April, and April's already bam, bam. There's it here. There's the headings. This is what we're doing, and there's nobody really sees the hard work that happens behind the project, all the planning, all the detailing, but it's definitely one that's that it's very rewarding. And when SWP, not financial advice, right? But I mean, when SWP takes off, and I think hard work like this never goes unnoticed, it will be so amazing. I mean, even Flavia, for instance, being like a single mom, that financial freedom, and so many people in the space to be able to affect lives like that, and know that people are going to be able to have some financial freedom to finally make their dreams come true, is really a powerful thing to be a part of. So yeah, I don't know, anybody else would love to jump in and add to that. Would be great. Anyone? April.
April, were you gonna talk?
Yeah, you too. You first, Deb, and I'll add something later.
For sure. Hi, Vern. I hope you're doing well. One thing I wanted to add with just kind of like I guess like empowering like women and like people in the space in general with financial freedom. Like I feel like that's such an important aspect, because I think we've all kind of been trained that like, oh, like, you work a 9 to 5, you make just ends meet, and then, your spouse, whoever you're with, sometimes you do it alone, like whatever. That's just kind of like the norm. And it's like, oh, you work until you retire. And then, your best days are pretty much behind you. You can't do what you did when you were in your 20s and 30s. And like, that's kind of like, I don't want to be like grim, but that's kind of like the sentence of life. And like, one thing that really appealed to me with crypto was that like, that does not have to be, what I have to do my entire life. Right. And, I'm like a little different where like, yeah, like I, could make a full-time living with myself with crypto, but I feel like my passion is to help people. And like, that is why I'm going into nursing. But with that, like, I have been like utilizing like my crypto savings, like I can use that towards nursing school. So I think a lot of it is kind of like, we all have different goals. We all have different dreams. Some of us want to make like college funds for our children. Some of us want to like retire our spouse, and like some of us want to like get their parents out of debt. Like we all have very different financial goals, and like obviously some people are further along those goals than like others, but I think we all have that same drive as to like why we got into crypto, because we want to make a better life for ourselves. We want to make a better life for our families and our loved ones, and like just because we were trained that, you know, you need to work X, Y, and Z, you need to work 5, 6 days a week, you need to work full time just to be able to like survive. Like that's not how it has to be anymore. And I think that that really empowers women who, you know, a lot of the times, after this I'll stop talking, but a lot of the times we're trained like, oh, you can be like a stay-at-home mom and like do like X, Y, and Z. So I think it really allows us to have an avenue to not depend on other people because we can provide that, you know, financial freedom for ourselves.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Deb. And for me, um, it's one thing that it's one of my goals to be financially independent. Well, I'm already independent, but I'm still living in my mom's house. But I'm a breadwinner, so basically I provide. So that is one of my, you know, my goal, which is to have more. Which a lot of us didn't come into crypto just to invest, right? And we came in to reclaim our power. Maybe we were bouncing back from a tough situation, maybe we were tired of depending on others, or maybe we just wanted more freedom, more options, more control. And you know what, that's okay. So because this space gives us a shot, it's not always fast and it's definitely not always easy, but it's ours. And right now, as I'm speaking, I can literally look up and see my vision board, which is in my upper side. Green candles, big profits, you know, a screenshot mock up of my dream bank account. So, yeah, definitely I'm not saying that it's instant, but it will take time, you know, but it's not impossible. So yeah, it's about crypto for me isn't just about you know, money. It's about hope, independence, and finally being the one who gets to choose uh, her own future, which is my own future. Yeah.
That's amazing, April. You know, even just to add to that, like I'm talking about personally myself, like why I even got into SWP. Like I've been working for like the longest time, like it's been over 16, well, if I counting my internship, like at least, you know, 18 or more years, right, of working. And that's like working shifts. You know, it's not a 9 to 5, like weekend 16-hour shifts, because you know I'm in the medical field and my job requires me to work as such. And so after like 10 years, I decided to have Shri and I decided to have kids. And now finally having my kids, I realized, okay, I want to be present, you know, and crypto gives us that hope as women that we can actually be like, I feel like for the first time, I have a shot at actually being able to be at home with my kids. I can go back to work at any time that I, you know, I want to, if I need to. But like to be financially free and to give my children uh, the life that I want to give them, you know, the education that I want to give them. And that's what crypto does for women as well. It gives us that hope. It gives us that opportunity to be financially free and independent. But sometimes people get it the wrong way. They always think that crypto is, you know, get rich overnight type of thing. I get it, right? People do get rich overnight, and well and good. But for me, as an individual, hard work always pays off. And putting in time and working on something has to produce fruit. And that's why we here and, you know, got behind Tom's vision of SWP. And it's never easy, but I believe that hard work will pay off and the community will win. And like I said, you know, we never know where what can happen, but all we can do is control the here and now and work as hard as we can. And that's what we do here in SWP, you know. And it's so amazing to join with you beautiful ladies and be on this journey. It really has been amazing. And Flavia, would you like to add anything else to that?
Something that I think that we women brings to the crypto world, it's the commitment. When we believe in something, it's like we focus on something, and even if there are not green candles, we are still believing in what we in what we put our trust, and that I think is algo very algo. I am speaking Spanish, perdón. I think that is something very important. Are you hearing me better now? I have this. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you better now.
Much better.
No. Mhm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I just saw your malicious comment here, and it says, crypto empowers everyone on on a level playing field to secure financial freedom. And that's so true because irrespective of whether you male or female, uh, people, everybody works hard to, some people more than others. And this has the opportunity, even for men, to be able to kind of provide an extra hustle, so to say, to be able to uh, have that hope and that opportunity to be able to provide for their families as well. I'm privileged to partner alongside my husband in this journey. And oh, great to see Tom there. How could we lose? That is so true. Thank you, Tom. But yes, we have an amazing supportive community, and it's just definitely the time that's going to tell. And crypto in itself, I know there is some really bad actors in the space, and they give all crypto projects a really bad, bad name. But like to be able to partner alongside some genuine good people in the space is an honor and a privilege. And Tom's vision that he has for the project and SWP and where we want to take this, and now being able to even onboard a second animator and do more content, and you don't see a lot of projects like this in the space. Honestly, you don't. I know, Deb, you've been around for a while, and we actually, for you just taking that sabbatical, you know, taking that break and coming back and then have you join the SWP family. It's amazing. I always say if it's not SWP, it's nothing else for me. It's as good as it gets. What do you think, Deb?
100%. And like, a big thing about like when I did take my break, like one, like I was kind of like soul searching, trying to like figure out my life just in general and like what I wanted to do. But another thing was just kind of like I will not allow myself to get caught up in, you know, being involved with greedy people, with greedy projects, with people and projects and devs who are going to tell me one thing and then do the opposite thing, or just like, tell people things just to build hype. And then, people end up dumping, the team ends up selling, moving it to wallets, just doing a bunch of shady stuff. So like, since I've been back like involved, like the only project that I'm really, really involved with is SWP. And like, that's because I see the vision. Like that's because before I even got involved, like I got invited to hop on like a call with the core team, and I sat back and I listened and I took my time and I was able to, ask questions. And like that is a very big thing for me because, if you want someone to get involved with your project and you're not willing to answer questions, like that is, that's shady to me. I think that, as long as people are being respectful in asking questions, like they deserve to know what's going on with things that they're putting their money into. So that's something that really drove me to want to be involved with SWP, was like that honesty and that dedication and that grind, and the fact that like, even as the market has been very, very bad recently, like people show up every single day. And, even just in life in general, I feel like, if you do something one day to the next, like, no, you're not really going to notice a difference. Like, it has taken me a long time just in my personal life. It's taken me like over 2 years to really notice some kind of difference within myself. And I feel like that goes without saying in the crypto space too, where it's like we show up every day. We have people who are grinding. We have people who are working behind the scenes. We have community members who believe in the project and are spreading the word. And sure, like, no, we may not see like 1,000x like tomorrow, but I do believe that the dedication, the commitment, and the continuous grind will pay off in the long run. So that's something that's very, very important to me. And that's something that has allowed me to keep, wanting to be involved and keep coming back. with SWP and keep, wanting to produce content and wanting to be as involved as possible. And I love you, Bullish. I appreciate you. I'm blessed to have you with the SWP family, as well as just be able to like call you a good friend of mine.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for that, Deb. And I just wanted to add some of it. Yeah, so in SWP, loyalty isn't just a word, it's something we live in, right? And we've got women here who show up every single day, and that's loyalty and commitment. So even when the charts are red, when people doubt us, when things move slower than expected, so we're not just here for the hype. So we're here because we believe, and through dips, delays, and distractions, so we stay locked in and we keep showing up in chats, in TG, in calls, even in VC. I'm in VC. Sometimes there are no people showing. There's no one single person showing up, but because I'm commitment, I'm still there. Helping behind the scenes, planning sessions, and uplifting the community. So this kind of loyalty is rare in this space, especially in crypto, and it's exactly what makes SWP different. So we're not just chasing the next pump, we're building something that lasts. It's not easy, but it's real, and that's why we know it's going to grow. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, April. It's about building that community. And I just want to encourage anybody, that's watching this live stream. We're always willing to answer questions. And we, in fact, welcome the questions because there's always an answer to the question. And if there's anything that helps build trust and, makes an investor more comfortable, we're more than willing to do that. And it's not about just taking, the easy road and just making it another pump coin, and then it's not, when it doesn't go away, just like dumping it. I know a lot of people can get frustrated with the space, and more often than not, there's different personalities and different clashes, and I think SWP has learned a lot along the way. And that's the reason why I think a lot of projects don't make it in the space, is because there's so much to learn and there's so much to do. And the only way you do that is through time and consistency and perseverance. And the longer we do that, the harder we work. Sooner or later, the space is going to recognize the fact that we show up and we grind every day. And SWP, will be hopefully for people. Again, I say not financial advice, but like for people to be able to put their money. Because when I know, I'm like, when I invested my money in SWP and just getting behind the team, it's like, to a certain degree, hey, this is not going to go to zero overnight. I don't have to worry about my investment if it's going to be there in the morning. We say this time and time again. And I thank our amazing community and the fact that everybody is so supportive. And we just want to continue building that. So just get involved wherever you are, whoever you are. If you're a lady out there, reach out. And we would love to add to the family of SWP. It's about growing this amazing community, the wolf pack, And it so happened that the dire wolf is now no longer extinct. And when I saw it, I immediately thought of SWP. And I was like, you know what? Yes, it's been a hard road, and they thought, we were extinct and this Saitama name was gone, but it's not about Saitama, it's about the spirit that was in 2021, that community, that unity, that Saitama brought everybody together to actually run that token up to 7 billion. And that's what we try and embody here in SWP, is that same community spirit. But anyway, if anyone doesn't have anything else to add, then we can close the live. But I think if we're going to close the live in the true spirit of community, we have to do it with a howl. I'll go last, right? So anybody has anything else to add to that? All quiet, right? So who started?
I'll say something really quick. I just want to encourage the community, like keep doing all the hard work that you guys are doing. Can someone mute, because it's a little echoey? Okay, cool. Keep spreading the word about SWP, because like, as I said, like, you might feel like you're not making a difference, but like, I really do believe consistency in this space wins. So we appreciate the community who has stuck by and who has, continued to believe in the project. And I have very, very high hopes for SWP in the future. So with that being said, I won't interrupt the howl challenge.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I mean, it's so amazing. We've got such a diverse community, right? I mean, for me, it's well, we started the space around midnight, right? It's almost like 1:45 in the morning. April, what time is it? What time is it for you? What time
Oh,
in the
it's actually 6:45 a.m. and we started in here in the backstage like 5 a.m. 5 a.m. in my time. So yeah, ladies are very committed.
and
Yeah.
Flavia, what time is it for you?
It's 7:45. No, 6. See, yes, 7:45
PM or AM?
p.m.
PM or PM. And you, Deb?
It
What
is
time
the
is it?
middle of the day. It's 3:45 p.m. here.
That's the point, right? I mean, we literally from all over the world and totally different time zones, but yet we show up. And that's how much, this project really does mean to us. So, again, ladies, I just want to thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for supporting SWP. And do you want to howl together? Or do you want to do the howl challenge? Should we go for the howl challenge?
Let's ask in the comments. Do you guys want us to do a group howl? Or do you guys want to rate our howls? I've never howled before on like a Twitter space or a live stream, so I'm a little anxious.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll do
Girls,
great.
girls, it's a lot of people seeing us. On X, we are in 99. On YouTube, we are 5. But wow, that's a lot of people.
I think
Wow.
we will see this afterwards. So, guys, drop a comment. Would you want a pack house, which meaning all the ladies, or do you want
All
us to?
together, yes. Thank you, Tom.
Hopefully, we don't get a lot of feedback with the mics, but yeah, let's go for it, ladies. Deb, you want to count us in?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, team howl for the boss man. All right, 3. Ooh, the bullish said challenge. Next live stream we'll do a challenge. I promise. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna add something, girls. So to everyone watching us, whether you're new to crypto or already in the game, just know there's space for you here. So drop a fire emoji or a wolf emoji in the chat if something tonight resonated with you. And if you're building, dreaming, or just curious, remember you're not alone. So the sisterhood is the real alpha.
Thank you,
So
guys.
yeah,
Oh, and just to remind everybody, our core team currently consists of, it's very small at the moment, and that's myself, April, and Tom, and our lovely ladies here in the community, and Deb. Again, guys, amazing to have you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us live and online and for dropping your comments. Carry on dropping the wolves and the fire emojis. It's been really amazing to be on this live with your girls, and I don't think it's going to be our last one. And hopefully, as time goes on, we can keep adding, to the pack and seeing more wonderful women and ladies out there in this space. So yeah, oh, take care, guys.
Love you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.